We just wanted to talk quickly, guys, about the state of the industry. We've been getting some exciting news the last couple of weeks. It looks like there's a mega drought about to hit of biblical proportions when it comes to outdoor and greenhouse cannabis. So all of our guys we've been talking to, all the people in the street are saying that by April, there'll be zero left of anything decent on the streets, on the market, in the rec areas and stuff of the organic grown outdoor and greenhouse cannabis. So it hasn't happened in years. So what that means to us is that this year is going to be a huge building year for everyone who may got their ass kicked the last 18 months in the cannabis market. This is a great year to get back in. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm going to be selling stuff. I really do believe when you start hearing the people in the street saying, hey, there's a shortage. Hey, we're not able to find as much as we normally can. Hey, we're trying to find friends that have more in stock and you can't find people. That's a good indication of what kind of year you're going to have. Prices will go up, supply will go down. That's supply side economics 101. We're pretty encouraged by this. I mean, it's been tough the last 18 months to hear kind of what's happened to our industry. And now with this huge resurgence the last couple of weeks, and we're gonna see it happening the next few months, I bet, it's gonna be very encouraging for people that are in the space, you know, in the farms, in the distribution centers. We wanted to give you that news, that update that we've been hearing, because a lot of people don't have the resource network that we have, or the network where we can go and have lunch, have dinner with people in the industry and kind of hear what's happening all around the Western United States. So this also means that the East Coast is going to start picking up a few months after California, which is typically what happens. So we definitely want people to know that there's actually an interesting cycle in the hydroponics and organics markets. Every time that there's a slowdown or crash in this market, it usually lasts for exactly 6 fiscal quarters. Back in the day, I think it might have been 2011 or 12, there was an overabundance, it lasted for 6 quarters, then things started booming again, and then it happened again at the end of 2017 for 6 quarters, and then it started booming again in 2019, and then it happened again the last 2 quarters of 2021 all the way through the 4 quarters of 2022. Now things are starting to pick up again. So if we're just following this trend, that means we're gonna have probably a 3-year upswing and then maybe another dip. That's what's encouraging us. It's gonna help us plan and organize better for our year and how we're gonna direct all of our consulting to our commercial farms. So I just want to get on here and say hi. If you guys have any questions before I go to jump, I'd love to answer them.
Any soil on the east yet?
We have a soil production plan on the East Coast now. So if you guys want our soil, we have pallets being made as we speak. It is out in Georgia. If you guys need our soil, you just got to tell your store. If you're a commercial farm, you can DM us and we'll either try to put it through a commercial store. If there's no commercial store next to you, we'll figure it out. We can do totes and we can do 1.5 cubic foot bags of the Pridelands Premium. So available now on the East Coast, guys. Hit up your stores or DM us for more information on that.
And then I've ran out of run to top dress. Can I make a slurry?
Absolutely. So if you're gonna make a slurry with our top dress, typically what I do is I take the amount that you want to top dress, because I don't know the square footage and what you're gonna do, but say you're gonna do like a 4 foot by 4 foot area and you wanna do like half a cup or something, or a full cup. You would take about a 5-gallon bucket, fill it full of about 4 gallons of water, dump that in there, big wooden spoon, whatever you wanna use, implement, stir it around as much as possible. It's not gonna go soluble, but you're gonna get it to be in suspension as much as possible, and then drench the area with that bucket. You can also technically do it through a sprayer if you did a heavy filter and you extracted all that stuff into the water, but I really think the slurry method is gonna be better for you if you can't top dress. I wanted to let's talk about terpene development, because a lot of you guys are probably familiar, but like the last 2 years, people have had to kind of cut corners and kind of cut costs because the cost of cannabis is lowered. And so what people have done is they've gone to like all synthetic salt-based fertilizers. The problem with that, let's talk about it, is that terpenes, which is everyone wants, you want your finished product, you want high terpenes. A lot of times, chemically finished plants or salt-derived fertilizers for soil, they don't produce as high terpenes. And this is exactly the reason why. There's no secret mystery behind it. It's that, one, terpenes are a biochemical communication language that the plant puts out. Every terpene attracts different types of living microbes or like macro, insects that are beneficial to the plant. So the terpenes are a way for the plant to communicate with its environment, asking for more water, asking for more nutrients from the soil microbes, asking for beneficial insects to help them, asking for pollinators to come and help them, those types of things, okay? So when you have an inert, microbe-free environment, the plant doesn't have to communicate as much. The amount of terpenes, while they're still going to be there, they don't have to put out as many terpenes because their communication language, it's like when you're in a room and you only have one person in the room with you. Or if you're in a room with a diversity, right? You have people from India, you have people from China, you have people from Mexico, you have people from Canada, you know, you're speaking different languages to each different person and you're speaking more robustly, okay? So we're looking at people's test results, okay? They're showing us test results for their cannabis, you know, oh cool, they got 30% THC, whatever, right? But their terpenes are like 1.6, maybe 2.0. And they're asking me why. And I'm like, look, it's hard for me to tell you that because I sell microbes and I sell stuff that improves terpenes because you're kind of like a biased statement. But if you just look it up and Google it online, what are terpenes and how do microbes use terpenes to communicate with the plant? You can find tons of scholarly articles that talk about this. It's not like uncommon, right? I mean, there's a reason why there's a smell and aroma that attracts certain life forms for that plant. We're attracted to mint and we're attracted to rosemary and the smell of it. Other insects are repelled by rosemary, repelled by mint. Same thing with microbes. They are attracted to a plant that is putting out a lot of terpenes, and it's going to help the plant bring up more water, more phosphorus, more nutrients. So the more microbes you have in your soil, the more terpenes your plant's going to have. It's just a fact. It's an inconvenient truth, but you know, if you're going to use synthetic salts, just try to use more beneficial bacteria and some more beneficial bacteria food that's going to help offset the salts you're using so you can improve that terpene profile.
Okay, we got another question on good tips to break up my BRIX and green aminos. It's rock hard. We should also talk about how to store it properly.
So the BRIX can be hygroscopic. Any type of sugar-like substance, what's going to happen is it's going to absorb atmospheric moisture, just like your sugar does at the store. If you leave brown sugar or something like that out on your patio, it will be a rock in a matter of days because it's absorbing all this moisture and turning it almost into like a cement-like structure with the sugars in the product. So store it in a cool, dry place, out of direct sunlight, sealed as completely as you can with all the air pulled out of it, okay? If you do get this to be into a rock, what you're gonna wanna do is you can boil it if you wanted to and turn it into like a liquid, and then you can let that water cool and then you can apply. You can also just let it soak in like outdoor water that's like, covered, and it'll slowly break up into that water. But just in general, just store it properly. I mean, we cannot make every single product on earth so that it's a perfect, stable environment and get the same effects we want for our plants, right? I mean, obviously the top dresses and all that stuff is just a matter of different organisms and different ingredients together. But when you combine sugars and certain types of products and enzymes, you're gonna get a chemical reaction with the environment. That's why certain things need to be stored properly. So if you're already jumping on the bandwagon where everyone else is doing it, that's too late. So that's just my 2 cents, but thanks for coming by. Thanks for saying hi, and DM us if you have any questions.